What's up, YouTube? This is ISC Dee Hinton of the one and only Insane Sports Comedy. Of course, I'm here to talk about the topic that I just displayed this morning. Basically, I'm going to talk about. Well, I'm not going to have any filter with this. I'm basically just going to be talking about how my favorite NFL team can't get to a fucking Super Bowl to save their damn life. Now, am I here to point fingers? Not necessarily. My job in this video is to tell you guys why and how the Green Bay Packers have had the most NFC title games in this past decade, but have only won one Super Bowl, and have only been in one Super Bowl. Now, first off, before I begin this video, I want to show you something real quick. I want to show you something. You see, I'm gonna take y'all away from actions. I'm not gonna let y'all see analytics. Ever since I found out YouTube Studio was a thing, I was like, when I do videos, I'm never gonna show my analytics, like, ever. YouTube, what I'm on right now, we got Facebook, we got Instagram, we got Twitter. And I think I got a notification via my personal account. That was from the other night. But anyways, yeah. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and you know Snapchat is only accessed through mobile devices. Twitter, you can catch me on ISC tweets. That's ISC_tweets. Right now I got, hold on. First off, what's wrong with me? Having the camera like this. I'm sorry, y'all. I shouldn't be doing videos like this, but yeah. ISC tweets. There's a picture. There's a picture of Steve Nash and Goran Dragic. This picture and this name, this is the Insane Sports Comedy Twitter page. This is the Instagram. I might change my name because I kind of don't like having part of my government and my Instagram handle, but I'll work with it. Shout out to my 18 followers on Instagram. Shout out to 3 people who like my page. Got 3 out of 10. Got 3 out of 10 likes or whatever. Shout out to Zion. Shout out to Zion. Shout out to HBK Mambo in the book. Shout out to Nick Light on the book. Shout out to all my subscribers too. You know, gotta give credit when credit is due. I can't let the clock go unnoticed. You feel me? You gotta tune in for a reason. So let's get right down to the facts. Right down to the facts. Right now, in the NFC, Aaron Rodgers has more NFC championship games in his career than any quarterback in that conference. We all know the first one, the NFC championship game with the Giants, that led the Giants to the Super Bowl that year. In Super Bowl 42. Then, but that was when I think that's when Aaron Rodgers was still a backup. But technically, that does count in his career record, just not in his career record as a starter. Super Bowl 45, the Packers take on the Steelers. It wasn't really one of my favorite Super Bowl games. I've seen a handful of better Super Bowl games than that, but it was a good game. You know, I think Super Bowl 45 beat Super Bowl 50, and any Super Bowl could beat that fucking Sunday night senior citizen bingo contest of Super Bowl 53. And I'm not just saying that because the Patriots won. I'm basically saying it because it was 13-3, and you don't have a Super Bowl that's 13-3. You don't, not, it's just not supposed to happen. But stranger things have happened, like the Packers having chance after chance, championship game after championship game, not making a Super Bowl. See, this past season against the 49ers, I understood it. 2 years before that, for some reason, we weren't making the playoffs. But once the Green Bay Packers lost to the Atlanta Falcons in the NFC Championship, I just knew it. I knew that this team was going to have to take a total turnaround since then. Like, from that NFC Championship game, Green Bay had no choice. We got to turn things around. We got to find out who has to go. And it can't be Aaron Rodgers. And sometimes I feel like, maybe if Aaron Rodgers was held a little more accountable, and if he was paid a little less attention just to accommodate the other players fairly, the Packers probably would have been in 2 or 3 Super Bowls. Then again, Aaron Rodgers is 1-0. Hasn't lost a Super Bowl because he's won the only appearance he's ever had. Like, I don't know. To me, it seems like the Packers, they usually like to play it cheap. And they're the only non-profit organization in the NFL. So the way they do business, especially financially, is different than when other teams do business. The odd thing about it, though, but the video I showed this morning, somebody just has to, I don't care, somebody has to explain to me, right, how in this last NFC Championship game against 49ers, you have no points. And you're losing desperately. Between Aaron Rodgers and the center, Brian Bulaga, the football was fumbled on a snap. A snap. You didn't get the drop back. You didn't get to look for receivers. You didn't even make a play. You fumbled before you even saw the damn field. And Green Bay just has so many mental miscues, I feel like. I don't know, like, the NFC Championship is like Super Bowl to Green Bay, in all honesty, because that's the one big game that they cannot seem to beat. They've lost it to the Falcons, they've lost it to the Seahawks, they've lost the NFC title game to the 49ers twice, I think. And even then, losing divisional games to the 49ers, but the Cardinals lost. Oh, honestly, as a Packers fan, if you saw the Cardinals loss, you just knew things weren't going to be the same after that. you just knew. You just knew things were going to be completely different after that season. Because I'm not going to lie to you. As great of a player as Clay Matthews is, sometimes when you do things, sometimes when you do things in the present and later on, you expect it to be buried in the past. But no. I remember that Larry Fitzgerald run like it was yesterday. Because only would someone who was born yesterday would put on a uniform and play defense and try so hard not to tackle someone. I never seen someone try so hard not to hurt their opponent. But it's what the Packers did against Arizona, and it's kind of what they did against a couple of other opponents in the playoffs. I mean, I feel like the one thing this team needs to remove is mercy. I feel like this team is just always, I feel like, especially Aaron Rodgers, and I can't say this enough about Aaron Rodgers. I feel like Aaron Rodgers is always trying to be the good guy. He tries so hard to be the good guy that he winds up being the bad guy. Like, if you ever watch Sex Education, he's like, oh, this was Sex Education. Nice, decent kid, you know, lives with his mom in a decent house or whatever. Not that he's a bad person, but he's trying so hard to be a good person, and he's trying even more desperately to protect his image, that he would go to the lengths to support people that don't even support him. And he would think that's him being a good person, when in reality, that's you wasting your personality. It's you wasting your time. And Aaron Rodgers has wasted some of his breath saying some of the most unnecessary things I have to say. Like, I remember that win streak we had. We beat the Bears, then the Cowboys. No, it wasn't the Bears and Cowboys. We beat the Bears, and then the Vikings week 2, and then the Broncos. We beat the Cowboys after we lost to the Eagles, but the Eagles gave us our first loss. Shout out to all the Philadelphia Eagles fans watching this. I'm gonna be posting this on Facebook and Instagram, so all my Eagles fans and all these other fans can watch. But yeah. Shout out to all my Eagles fans. The Eagles gave us our first loss of the season, and before that, we were 3-0. 3-0. Green Bay Packers were 3-0. I'm only saying we because I'm a Green Bay Packers fan. It's not that hard to tell. It's seriously not that hard to tell. Hell, I'm not biased towards my team. You hear me talking the descent of the Green Bay Packers. So I don't want to hear any biased messages. I don't want to hear any biased tweets or any of that. Like, you guys know I'm coming. You guys know how I come on this YouTube shit. I keep it on it. Like, and that's why, like, I couldn't just talk about how great Green Bay did this last season and how they weren't seen as the NFC's best team. I mean, for good reason they weren't. It's like everyone, like, this year, no matter how good Green Bay did, everyone just knew they were gonna screw up in the end. Like, it literally felt like no one, like, when it came to the best team in the NFC, New Orleans, even earlier in the season, the Rams and the Cowboys. Oh, if the Rams make the playoffs, I think they're still the best team in the NFC. Just give them another chance. Meanwhile, Green Bay only had 3 losses the entire season. No one mentions, oh, people usually say the Packers are 1A. But nobody came to a forefront and said, you know what, the Packers are playing like the best team in the NFC right now. And for much of the season, especially the second half of the season, they weren't playing like the best team in the NFC, especially when they were facing quality teams. Now, of course, they lost to the 49ers, of course. Losing to the Chargers, that one we didn't expect. I feel like that Chargers game, once we lost that Chargers game in LA, that's when no one took it seriously. Because, like, seriously, the Chargers, we already know they're not making the playoffs. You just let the Chargers spoil you. Like, but that Eagles game, that was a competitive game. And before that game, Aaron Rodgers was saying that we need to adjust some things about wide receivers, that the receivers need to get better. I'm like, you're undefeated. Why are you calling your teammates out if you're undefeated? Like, it's so unnecessary. Obviously, if you did that after the Eagles lost, after the 49ers lost, you call somebody out. I don't even want to go back to what anyone said after that 49ers loss in the regular season, because I already knew the feeling. And the NFC Championship game, it was like I felt like I was holding my breath before diving into a volcano. That is how that is how bad it was. I had to prepare myself the to see the defeat. I had to brace myself for the defeat. I told myself, we definitely gonna go to the Super Bowl. We might Aaron Rodgers versus Patrick Mahomes. This is a matchup everyone wants to see. What? You can't tell me the Packers aren't gonna go to the Super Bowl. But you saw San Francisco. You saw what they did in the regular season. You saw why they were the first seed. You saw why they were the first seed. You saw why the Packers were the second seed. But there were some games where we didn't even look like a playoff team, like scoring 11 in Los Angeles. Chargers nor the Rams were as good as us this year. That Philadelphia Eagles game, I'll give it to the Eagles. Again, shout out to my Eagles fans. Y'all earned that. Y'all earned that. Because that was a hard-earned game. But some people in that Green Bay locker room just need to do a little more and talk a little less. And yes, I'm talking about Aaron Rodgers, but it's clear that he isn't the only one. Matt LaFleur, brand new head coach, is trying to do his job. And Mike McCarthy, when he was coaching the Rodgers, for most of that time period, it was basically him and Aaron Rodgers basically would go at certain times when Aaron would want to call the team out. And sometimes Mike would sit him down like, listen, bro, like it's not that serious. It's really not that serious. You know? And I feel like if Aaron Rodgers wants to win a Super Bowl so bad, he would have the nerve to at least leave it all on the field every night. Because see, people say Aaron Rodgers leaves it all on the field every night. I've seen certain nights where Aaron really throws like he just doesn't care. I've seen it. I'm a Green Bay Packers fan. I've seen it before. I've seen Aaron nonchalant. I've seen, like, every quarterback has that one nonchalant game, and I get it against certain competition. But against that Chargers team, he just wasn't, like, he wasn't in the moment. And I feel like it's so much less talking and so much more action that this Packers team needs. This team needs to take action. Matt LaFleur did excellent his first year as a head coach. I wish Matt LaFleur could have won a Super Bowl his first year as a head coach. I really wish he could have done that. But things happen for a reason. The Kansas City Chiefs are the Super Bowl 54 champions. Travis Kelce and his brother Jason Kelce from the Eagles, again, shout out my Eagles fans, got a ring. Tyrann Mathieu from the Texans and Cardinals, shout out to all my Texans fans. I would say shout out to all Texans fans, and shout out to all the Cardinals fans out there. I don't really like the Cardinals that much, and you can pretty much see why, but I give Tyrann the respect. But this Green Bay team just has to wake up. They have to wake up. Get your heads out of the media. Keep your mouth in your helmets. Your mouth goes in front of the microphone when it's time for you to speak. Social media is not your best friend in the NFL. Social media is only my best friend because I choose to upload videos on a daily basis. As much as I'm on social media, it's not my best friend. This shit is not my friend. Social media could be the end of anybody. So if somebody having millions and millions of dollars, don't let that go to your head, bro. Because the media, you see what the media does to the Packers year after year. They treat Green Bay like an afterthought because they have these great regular seasons Aaron Rodgers talks all this shit until somebody actually comes out and says Green Bay's the best team in the NFC, and then in the playoffs, boom, no Super Bowl. Like, come on, you can't you can't make a different movie with the same script. You gotta change the shit up. You gotta change the game. This is ISC Dee Hinton signing off.